Well, the White House finally chimed in on this whole mysterious drone situation, and boy oh boy, let's just say it has not gone well. The internet is dragging these people because instead of going the honest route, now listen, I know that they're not going to ever be fully transparent about what's going on. But instead of at least trying to sound somewhat believable, they decided to go the gaslighting route. And when I say the gaslighting route, I mean they went pedal to the metal with it. They went absolutely overboard. They are playing the game of, what drones? What are you talking about? There's no evidence of this. We got the FBI investigating the case. They're investigating the case because there is evidence. We have FBI agents who have claimed that they've been followed home by these drones. We got the U.S. Coast Guard that has come out claiming they have been tailed and followed by these drones. We have reports from military bases all over the country, but more specifically when it, has to do with this story in New Jersey, we have the Picatinny Arsenal Army base that has come out and released a statement about these drones because these drones have been flying over their base. We have sheriff's offices and sheriff's departments around New Jersey that are aware of these drones, that have seen these drones themselves, and have captured these drones on video. I've already let you all listen to the dispatch audio. We know that local police departments all over New Jersey are not only aware of these drones, they have seen these drones, they have reported that these drones are flying over the New Jersey State Police headquarters. So we already know this is an issue. And of course, we've heard from so many people on the ground, and we've seen tons of footage of these drones. This is not some type of top secret situation where, oh my God, it's hard to find or to see one of these drones. Literally, any one of these areas in New Jersey, just walk outside any given night, and they're all over the sky. We have members of Congress that have seen these drones. We got TV show hosts, news anchors, that have been covering this story that now have the drones flying over their homes. We know this is a very real issue. But instead of just being realistic about the situation, or just giving us a tad bit of honesty, they've gone the complete, oh, hey, we don't even know what you're talking about. There's no evidence that any of this is even happening. Directly going against all of these other agencies, all of these police forces and the FBI and the military. It makes no sense. But that's what we got. And before I go any further, let's go ahead. I'm going to roll the clip. You can hear it for yourself. And then I'll be right back.
John, on the drones, does the U.S. government have any of its own imagery or video of these systems?
I'm not aware that we have U.S. government produced imagery ourselves, but as I said in my opening statement, we have certainly done thorough analysis of the existing imagery.
Like from people's cell phones that we're seeing? Basically, with what you're looking at, how can you credibly tell people that there is no public safety threat, there's no national security threat, that there's no reason to believe that a foreign government is involved?
Because the analysis thus far, in an investigation that is ongoing, has not revealed any national security or malicious intent or criminal activity. But, Jackie, I would remind you, we're at the beginning here, not the end. There's a lot more work to be done, and we're working closely with state and local authorities to gain more information. I would argue that we're moving pretty well here with a sense of energy to try to figure out what we can do to learn more about this. We're still in the middle of an ongoing investigation, and I'm up here explaining to you and let you know what we know so far, what we believe so far. If information comes to light that changes that characterization, then my goodness, we'll be the first ones to let you know. But right now, there's just no indication that this is some sort of foreign malign activity or, in fact, even criminal.
Well, what I don't understand is, this has been happening since late November. I don't know that the law enforcement officials or residents in New York and New Jersey, or even the Democratic senators who wrote to Director Ray Mayorkas and the FAA administrator today would think that this has been handled with a sense of urgency. But that being said, has the President or the Secretary of Defense issued any guidance to NORTHCOM or military installations to act on these systems if they're deemed to be a threat in any way? And what's the benchmark for that determination?
So 2 thoughts. First of all, you're right, late November. It is now, the 12th of December. So I think it shows that we're moving on with this, and we're going to stay on it. So I want to disabuse you of any notion that we're not taking this seriously, because we are. I can also tell you that if the President, as Commander-in-Chief, believed, based on the information that he'd been given, that there was a national security threat at play here, or even a public safety threat at play here, he would issue the appropriate directives to not only law enforcement, but perhaps even the military if that was needed. I want to go back to something I said at the top. There has been no evidence of any of this activity in or near restricted spaces.
That's not what the senators said in the letter. They said, in fact, that they've been observed maneuvering their critical infrastructure, sensitive locations, including reservoirs and military installations, and cited a concern from law enforcement about public safety threats because a medevac helicopter was prevented from transporting a seriously injured patient for care because of the presence of these drones.
I stand by my opening statement.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
Certainly I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, my goodness, looking at this. And we're taking it seriously. We understand that people are concerned. We understand that they got questions. We got questions too. And we're working hard to get the answers to that. What I can tell you as we sit here today, at 2:16 in the afternoon on the 12th, is we haven't seen any indication thus far that there's a public safety risk, and we haven't seen.
Does the government know what they are?
We are still investigating this. I can't tell you definitively. I cannot characterize for you definitively what these sightings are. I can just go back to what I said at the opening. We've looked at the imagery. We can't corroborate some of the reported sightings through our own expert analysis using sophisticated detection techniques, but that doesn't mean that we're putting our pen down here this afternoon and calling it a day. We're going to keep at this.
What are you doing, though?
We are continuing to investigate it, as I said in my opening statement, 2 federal agencies, as well as the United States Coast Guard and state and local law enforcement officials, which we are staying in close touch with.
Picking up on drones, has it reached a level, or is there a level determined by which the president or the administration, more directly, would prohibit any use of the airspace, since it is regulated, for drones for a period of time to try to figure out who they are and to remove this anxiety that people in the Northeast are feeling? I
don't know that we're at a stage right now where we're considering that sort of a policy option, but I can tell you that we're going to keep an open mind here, and I think whatever policy options we determine are appropriate will be informed by the investigation. And thus far, in this early stage of the investigation, there's just no national security threat that we see and no public safety risk. So again, you want to be careful that you don't you don't jump to conclusions and you don't jump to policy options that may not be appropriate at this particular stage. But we'll obviously see where it goes, and we'll be informed by investigators.
One other topic with
the look on the dude's face. I mean, the look on his face says it all. I hate the smug looks these people have. And I don't know, it's something about this guy. He looks like he's directly from the 1940s or something. I don't know, there's something off about him. But anyways, I mean, I honestly don't even understand what's going through their mind right now. Listen, I get it. This administration is all over the place. It's a complete mess. But, I mean, just think about how bold you have to be to come out here and tell people, wait, there's no evidence of this. We've already heard from the military, the FBI, the Coast Guard, and all of these different police departments and members of Congress. We already know this is a real problem, and it's been going on for a long time. So to come out and act like it's not a problem, I mean, I guess you could say that's concerning. But one thing that I think is happening here is I think that they're trying to dump this issue off on the next administration. I think they're trying to turn a blind eye towards this issue. Maybe they're even trying to make sure that it gets worse so they could dump it on the next administration and blame them. Because, yeah, a lot could be done about it, but think about it. All these people got to do is ride out a couple more weeks, and then, hey, it's not our problem, it's your problem. And we're going to blame everything on you. That's what's going on here. That's some of what's going on here. That's why they're going to gaslight right now. Oh, there's no evidence of this. But wait, when the next administration is in office, oh, all of a sudden, oh, we have evidence of this. It's your fault, blah, blah, blah. But he says that they're not flying over restricted airspace. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. But you're telling me that you could fly drones the size of an SUV or a small bus over military bases and that's okay? He says they're not flying in restricted areas, but they have stopped medvac helicopters from rescuing people who have been in tragic car accidents and things along those lines. If you, or if me, were to somehow have access to a drone the size of a Kia minivan and we flew it over the nearest military base, we would have armed officers and military personnel at our door within hours. But according to the White House, they're operating within the law, everyone, that we know of. They're doing, it's okay. Not, and then this is the real kicker. Oh, we don't have any evidence that this is happening. But, oh, it is happening within the law, okay? Either it's not happening or it is. You can't say, we don't have any evidence of that this is happening, and then you go forward and say, oh, well, these people are operating within the law, and they're not flying in restricted airspace. That's simply not true. To say that they're not flying in restricted airspace, they have put certain restrictions out there since these drones have popped up, and it has not stopped the drones. So we basically just got directly lied to and gaslit directly from the White House on this situation. And they didn't even attempt to even try to sound unbelievable. They didn't even attempt to try to be on the same page with all other agencies within the government that have been reporting on these drones. Like the White House should somewhat be on the same page as the FBI and the Coast Guard and the military and all of these different mayors in New Jersey and the governor and what have you. But it's just I can't even use the word that I want to use right now. So let's just say it's just a big ball of confusion right now within our government when it pertains to these drones. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.